So I'm wondering why there's so much economic disparity across nations on Earth. Why is Britain, for example, more economically successful than Peru? And not just a little bit more, but massively more. Why is America so much more successful than Bolivia? The list goes on of economic disparity and examples showing that. And it is very strange to have this situation on Earth where some countries are massively economically successful, like Japan, for example, compared with Honduras. It's just amazing to have such massive differences in economic success because we're all human beings and it kind of defies belief that there can be such differences. But I was thinking there's a combination of factors that make this happen. And chief amongst this must be the environment, obviously. So geography is very important. The weather is very important. If you're somewhere living where your chief concern is staying warm or staying cool, if you're somewhere hot, then most of your energy, your intellect and resources will go towards finding ways to manage that. So part of the reason for the disparity in achievement across the world comes down to the environment. And so that's dependent on good fortune, where you happen to live. So your geography is important, your climate is very important, and obviously your resources as well, whether you have oil and gold and steel and whatever, whether you have resources that you can use to develop your civilization. And access to water, very significant as well, and access to food resources. All of these things are very significant and help decide why some countries are very successful and some countries are struggling to even feed its population. It's very strange that there can be such economic disparity around the world, but I think these factors are the most significant. Also, of course, you have luck, which plays an incredibly significant role, like whether you are living next to another group of people, for example, so you have to fight for resources, fight for food supplies and water supplies. You either do have that situation or you don't. You're either lucky or you're not. But I do think it's very strange that there can be such differences in economic achievement around the world. And it's strange that these differences can be explained simply by factors like the environment and the weather that you have. If you're spending most of your time trying to keep cool or alternately trying to keep warm, then you have very little energy and resources to devote towards developing your economy and things like that. So luck seems to be a significant factor, and I'm wondering if it's the most significant factor. Whether you have oil, for example, or coal, very significant as well. Whether you have access to water and food supplies, whether your weather is manageable, and good fortune. Do you have tidal waves or hurricanes to deal with? So I was thinking there must be a reason why Britain is so much more economically successful than Bolivia, for example. And I was wondering what those regions, what combination of factors could make those differences come into being.